Hello. um,
Hi.
hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ariana with Sista with a Stutter, and I am here with Enjoli. I'm super, super excited. So, like, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. So, we're going to just go ahead and get started. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and like what inspired you to work with people who stutter?
Yes. Well, first, thank you for having me. This is amazing. Um, and it's not a coincidence that you are positioned here with this podcast interview, YouTube. I think that what you're doing is amazing. And who you are makes it even more special. So thank you for inviting me onto this. I enjoy this space that you've created. So, um, about me. I'm Enjoli Richardson. I am a licensed speech therapist and PhD student at the Arthur M. Blank Center for Stuttering Education and Research at the University of Texas at Austin. I want to timestamp it being October 28, 2025, in the event someone is watching this at a later date. Probably years from now, I'll be Dr. Richardson. But if you're watching this,
Yay.
I just wanted to timestamp that. Um, but yeah, like for your question, what is my background and what inspired me to work with um, individuals and people who stutter? Whew. So it is a beautiful story, actually. And so I'll actually start like, how did this even come to be? So I started out when I was going through my undergraduate program, looking to change my major from engineering to something different. And I had not known anything about speech pathology, communication sciences and disorders, anything of that nature. And so my mom had instructed me, she said, okay, hey, you're about to change your major, like bring the course, evaluate the course book home and we'll go through it. And so I seen communication sciences disorder and then it says speech language pathology. And I was like, what is that? I've never heard of anything like that. And so she was like, well, look to see like if that's something that you're interested in. And so when I went back from holiday break back to school, I went to get my undergraduate degree at Texas State University. Go Bobcats.
Okay.
And so when I went back to, when I went back to school, I immediately set up an appointment to explore what this degree plan was. At the time, I had met a phenomenal Black SLP, which is still one of my favorite mentors to this day. And she was the first person to introduce me to the field of speech language pathology. When I had questions about it, she actually was like, hey, I can actually show you better than I can tell you. I have a client coming tomorrow at this time. I just need you to fill out the observational paperwork and all of those things, and then you can see it. So I did that. I went to see her do her thing, be all of the speech pathologist that she was, and she is currently today. I was just like, oh my goodness, this was amazing. Just to see the intention on working with, she was working with a younger child. And so just to see the interaction, but also not only with the child, but also how she communicated what was happening in the therapy setting with the parents and the caregivers there. And I was like, oh my God, like, I think that's what I wanted to do. So I ended up changing my major. graduating from Texas State University, and because I got my undergraduate degree and a different degree, she's the one that actually told me, hey, go ahead and level, take your prerequisite course. If you really want to do speech pathology, you have to take 1 year of prerequisites and then go into your master's. And so I did just that. And so, I got my master's. And while I was there getting my master's degree at Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas, my professor, Dr. Michael Azios, he is a white man who stutters, was my first introduction to stuttering. So he's the one that introduced me to stuttering, and he did so in a way by presenting an opportunity to work with research. And so his dissertation was, really gearing and leaning towards the experiences of spouse and partners of individuals who stutter. And so he gave me a task. I was just young and learning, and he gave me a task. He said, hey, can you transcribe these interviews? And so imagine taking 90-minute interviews and having to transcribe word from word. So spending 40 plus hours listening to individuals who stutter tell their stories. That was an experience that no textbook or anything could have given me as a first impression. This was before I had took any stuttering course. My first impression, my first experiences to stuttering was listening to stuttering voices tell their stories and their experiences. So I was like, wow. Like, I wouldn't even say, even still to this day, when I tell that story, I'm just privileged because I got to hear from experience first rather than the medicalization of what stuttering is. And so that actually helped me. And what I didn't know then, it actually primed me to actually open up space in not only how I think about stuttering, but also how do I experience empathy in the healthcare profession. And so that was my first experiences to stuttering. And so once I got into the field, like once I graduated, I knew I wanted to get my PhD. I just didn't know in what. And so throughout my master's academic training during my master's program, we are given one stuttering course. And at that time, I'm dating myself just a little bit because times have changed drastically in how we talk about stuttering, right? At the time, it wasn't a standalone stuttering course. It was a stuttering lecture embedded in a course. And the teaching of it kind of felt very nonchalant. It was what I would perceive to be like secondary, like an afterthought. And, again, dating to back then and how stuttering was talked about, what the things that we knew actually align with how it was taught. It was, only 1% of the population stutters. You're not going to see that many people on your caseload that stutter. And it's a 4-to-1 ratio. So you're not going to see too many girls who stutter. So I was like, okay, as a student, I'm like just learning, doing what I do, taking my notes. So then when I got into the field, when I actually was a practicing SLP, I actually started secondary. I was a secondary school SLP, so I worked in the middle and high school in Houston, Texas. And every time I say this experience, it just brings the realness to it, in the sense of I had 10 students who stuttered on my caseload. Right.
What?
10. And not only 10 students who stuttered, 6 of them were little girls.
Oh.
And I'm going to go a step further. Not only 6 of them were little girls, 6 of them were little girls of color.
Mm.
Okay.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
So that was a point of tension, not only as I was, the point of contact for knowing how to treat stuttering. The things that I was taught about stuttering did not actually, I was not faced with that in front of the faces that I was seeing and engaging with in front of me. And so I just remembered coming home and, telling my husband I am not happy, and, constantly hearing and having to talk to families of these little girls who stutter, these little Black and brown girls who stutter, and to experience their worry, to experience their grief, to experience their point of trying to hold on to hope. That actually really was my first point and moment of really feeling so helpless that I needed to do something different. I needed to do something different. And so I remember going back home, and it attributed to me feeling not competent or enough as a speech therapist. And it really weighed on me. And so that was my point of saying, you know what? I don't know anything about this, nor can I find any of these experiences represented. This is what I'm going to get my PhD in. And so that experience, and being home, I still passed the middle school and the high school, and I'm reminded of those experiences every day that I passed. And that was my first moments of inspiring me to do this kind of work. And it's a constant reminder each and every day when I pass the schools of how important it is as well. Because if I felt it, there's plenty other people that may have or maybe are experiencing those same feelings, but don't know where to go to access that information. And so that was the start of something beautiful, and what has led me to do this work today.
I love that. Just to have that experience early off, and just to know, like, hey, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. It's just like, it's crazy to me. Like, I like go from like engineering to SLP. Like, that's crazy. Like, that is 2 different sides of like the spectrum. Like, what? But like, what? Like, just to have that firsthand like experience is like, it's a good like asset to have, and then just to carry it on to being a future doctor. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, I love that for sure.
Yes. I mean, and it just, you never know when purpose is going to arrive at your door. I think that at the time, I had made the conscious effort that, hey, I'm going to be a speech therapist. And not only I'm going to be a speech therapist, I'm going to be damn good at it. And then that was a real moment of realizing that, wait, I'm not equipped with the necessary things and supports to actually be good at this. Because what I thought was good, what I'm seeing in front of me, I don't necessarily know how to navigate. And so being in this program, pursuing a PhD, has really filled a large gap, not only in the knowledge, but also in how I experience stuttering and how I think about it. It has changed, the questions. And don't get me wrong, like being in this PhD, like doesn't make me all knowing. Like if anybody will tell you that the more education you acquire, the more you realize you don't know a lot.
Right.
So I'm still learning. And then there's still so much to learn. I learned so much from you, like even being to this day, there is no amount of research that I can conduct and the scholarship that I'm reading that beats your experience, that actually has more value than what you tell me and how you talk about stuttering and what that experience is for you and other people who stutter. And so I don't take it lightly. What experience can tell us about human condition. And that is always changing and evolving. I know that some conversations we've had, with you talking about your acceptance of stuttering and how that shifts over time.
Right.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Like acceptance is not a destination, it's a journey. And so I'm reminded of that every time we talk, every time I hear you speak, every time you tell me parts and share parts of yourself with me. It's always a moment of learning and unlearning at the same time.
For sure. And it is vice versa as well. Like I'm learning from you as well. Like stuff that I thought I knew as a person who stuttered, which I was like, wait, what? And, like it kind of makes sense now. Like, oh, okay, like this is why, and this is because of this. I'm like, oh, like wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've been studying for 31 years and I've never like it all makes sense now. Yeah. But yeah, like I love that though. But like going back to like the research part of it, what results have you been getting about why people stutter or their experiences as a person who stutters?
Yes. So, okay. I'm probably about to nerd out a little bit, just a little bit.
It's okay.
So again, taking those experiences, right? Those moments of not feeling competent and helpless, right? And not having the necessary knowledge and skills and resources. I was actually going, and this is very important because I have to state this before I go into what I'm finding. So in starting your PhD program, you work very closely with your mentor, and your mentor works with you to not only figure out what gaps are in the literature, but establishing your program of research. Like we're not just out here finding gaps, but how can we establish a program of research that is going to sustain itself and have greater benefits and extend what we already know about stuttering? And so I was going through those early phases, my first year in my PhD program, we were having these conversations each week. And, she was like, well, what do you find? And things like that. And it wasn't what I found in the literature. Okay. It wasn't what I found in the literature. A gap is what you which you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
But also, not even within the literature, I'm very active on social media. And so this is where I say, when purpose finds you.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, on Instagram rather, and I receive a DM. Again, keep in mind, I'm having my weekly meetings. I'm
Mm-hmm.
PhD in my first year, trying to figure out what's gonna happen, what I'm gonna do, and what I'm gonna learn. And I receive a direct message on Instagram, and it was a Black woman who stutters, and I'm gonna say her name, Cody Lamb. She DMs me and she introduced herself, and I still have that direct message to this day, and all direct messages from anyone that finds me on my little space of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But she DMs me and she says, "Hey, I'm a Black woman who stutters. I'm interested in starting an online support group for Black women who stutter. I see that you're getting your PhD." Look, I'm saying it because I know it verbatim. You are a speech therapist and you're getting your PhD in stuttering, and I wanted to know if you would be open to supporting and helping. When I tell you, timing,
Mm.
when purpose finds you,
Mm-hmm.
you can't, it's undeniable. And so, from when she started that support group, I remember just her tenacity on being able to say, this is my experience. I didn't have this. When I was in school, my professor told me about this. And so now it's time for me to actually pick it back up and I'm gonna do this. And she did it. She did it. She started Melanin Stutter Queens. And what's so significant and why I'm talking about Melanin Stutter Queens is because it was an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
It was an invitation. She invited me in that space.
Right.
And I remember how sacred that space is and how sacred all of this work is.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling with myself, like, as she was building, as new members were joining, and each one she was facilitating sessions, I was like, who? I don't want to reveal that I'm a speech therapist. I don't want to alter the conversations.
Right.
Build, I'm here to listen and I'm a support. That's it. And so from attending those meetings each month, from debriefing with her, from hearing, not only her own personal journey, right? Being able to talk about what are some things that we can do together. That was the impetus, the start of actually why I center Black women who stutter, as I explore the intersections of race, gender, and disability within the stuttering experience. And so when you ask, what have I found about Black women who stutter? I have to say that is my point of entry. That is the foundation of what I know. Not only being a part of that group and learning and listening, but also being able to cultivate that same sacredness that was experienced in Melanin Stutter Queens. And you know this to being a part of Melanin Stutter Queens. But also channeling that same energy into the work that I get to do on this end with the research. So I don't take this lightly. And so the things that I've been what I've been learning along the way. It's a constant process. And I'm excited to share that our publication has been released. The first, look, you hear it first. The first publication centering the experiences of Black women who stutter has officially been released online. And so, myself, Dr. Courtney Bird, and Dr. Megan Young have worked really, really hard, and not just really, really hard, really worked very, very closely with how we handle this type of work. And so this publication is not just a win for us, but it's a win, and we hope that all Black women who stutter that reads this work sees themselves and are proud. So what we found, all of that to lead up to this point, what we found are a lot of different things. And so first I want to start with talking about how the experiences of Black women who stutter was inspired by Black feminist scholar and writer Bell Hooks when she talked about feminist theory from margin to center. And so I remember in one of our interviews, one of the participants in the study talked about being a minority of a minority and being a unicorn. And I'm drawing relationships to what Bell Hooks talks about and talking about the conceptualization of being in the margins or being a minority or minoritized as both a site of oppression and a source of liberation. Mm-hmm. So what we found is not just, that Black women who stutter navigate systems of oppression, right? Being gendered racism that is tied to being a Black woman in America, but also ableism, having whether you identify as disabled or having a disability, those systems of oppression are intertwined and interconnected together. And so not only those types of experiences that allows us to critique positions of power and where Black women are, not only in the world, but also in how we talk about stuttering, because you don't really have any experiences. Now there's new advancements about experiences of women who stutter now. And they have really informed a lot of the things that we know about, women who stutter, but also specifically for Black women who stutter, how they, and I go between they and we, and I'm going to tell you why and after, how they move, they not only navigate systems of oppression, but in their experiences when we were investigating how they talked about identity, how they talked about self-care and advocacy. Self-care was a big part in pushing back against those oppressions. So, and when we were interviewing and really listening and learning, a lot of the Black women who stutter talked about things that they did to take care of themselves, not only after a hard day or not. And when I say a hard day, moments of a lot of negative experiences or negative reactions of stuttering. But also how did they leverage self-care to make sure that those experiences did not necessarily, how they were able to protect their sense of self and how they self-define being a Black woman who stutters in America. And so radical self-love was very, very important. So
Mm-hmm.
the use of words of affirmation, being able to, some of the participants shared how being able to look in a mirror and be like, I'm that girl,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. Being able to not only like give themselves words of affirmation, but being able to make time within their day to nurture. So again, like these stories are really, really etched in my mind and my heart of, you know, what does it mean to put self first
Mm-hmm.
when, you know, those experiences try to deter you and bring you further away from who you are. And so leading into that, the importance of healing through community. A lot of the Black women who stutter talked about community, talked about dimensions of identity being very, very important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being a part of support groups that not only were amongst people who stutter, but being a part of Black women, being able to
Mm-hmm.
know that they are not the only person. They are not the only person that looks like them, that sounds like them, that are navigating these spaces. Just remembering those moments when we were interviewing and seeing some of the participants, like seeing other Black women for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And having to take those moments, and how that was also integral in how they talked about acceptance. Representation matters, and being able to hear, hey, you matter from another Black woman who stutters, and this is why you matter, because I have the same experience. And last but not least, like even within that healing, like reclaiming power. Again, like I mentioned, like I'm that girl, but actually, like actually teaching people how to care for Black women who stutter. And so that has been some of the things that we're finding, that is not only that's
Yeah.
not only special to Black women who stutter, but also what we can learn as a field in speech pathology, but also as human beings existing alongside with and caring for Black women and Black girls who stutter as well. So I know I said a lot.
No, like I'm just sitting here taking it all in because I'm just like, first, I'm excited for this publication. Like I want to read it like right now. Like I'm excited to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, Cody. Cody is heaven sent. Like without her, I think she reached out to me 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Hey," I was like, "Hi." So she was like, "Hey, I have this group," and then I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." And then she was like, "It's Black women who stuttered." I'm like, "Interesting, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more." So like we had this discussion about what she was doing and what this group is about. And honestly, that was my first time being in a group of Black women who stutter in general. Like I've never been around that many women who stutter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add being a Black woman on top of that, it just like it's diabolical. Like it's crazy to me. Like I would have never thought in a billion years that this group will be where we are now.
Yes.
And just to have
Mm-hmm.
the support system and the like the thought of these women are just like me, and I wish I had this growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my late 20s when I found this group, and I'm just like, where has this been my entire life? So I was like, this is crazy, but I love it.
Yes.
But then when I met them in person at the Black Center in Austin for her story, I was like, this is where I was meant to be, and I love it here. And I just like, I felt at home. Like that first day, the moment I got there, I was like, I felt this is like where I need to be. It's crazy because I live an hour and a half from Austin, and I never knew that the Black Center was there. Like I never knew this was available to me. And I'm just like, I've been living under a rock. So I'm like, I'm so glad that I got to meet you and Cody, and I'm shout out Annabelle too, because Annabelle is my girl. She is my girl. Like she will push you to be the best you can be. And I appreciate her for that. Like from the bottom of my heart, I do. And I'm just like, I'm just in awe every time I see y'all, I talk to y'all, just to be in the same like earthly airspace. Like it's insane to me. And I love it.
Yes. I also want to, shine a light on like how powerful we all are. How you mentioned, you didn't have this when you were coming up, right? And how critical it is that we can take our experiences and create some beautiful things. Some beautiful things. We all have a responsibility. Cody created the first that we know, like online support group for Black women who stutter, right? From her experiences of not, having that. So to have the audacity to do that, for you to have the audacity to create a YouTube channel, being able to talk about your experience, being a sister with a stutter, like, and saying sister with a stutter, like, no, seriously, right?
Yeah.
Anyone that sees your page, right? Especially, it's very important, for stuttering broadly, but more so specifically for us as Black folk to know, hey, I know this person. So as much as we I love that we give each other our flowers, and I want to grab everyone flowers and give you your flowers, because you have that same audacity to do this. And I know that offline we talked, like, to have someone speak life over you so that you can show up in this space. So then I can come on here, like, literally, like when I tell you the details, the things that had to happen for us both to arrive to this space.
Right.
Because I know this didn't birth only out of because you was just ready and excited and this is what I'm gonna do. Right. So I give you your flowers for having the audacity to do this. And who knows how many people motivated and told you to do it.
Yeah, and my number one supporter, right, Brother Avery. Yeah. I have to give him the hugest, biggest shout out in the world. He is my number one supporter. And without him, this would not be. Without his push, his love, his support. Him being my first ever guest. Not me forcing him to be my guest, but I love you, Avery, but don't. But he, like, I ran this by him, and I was like, Avery, this is my thoughts. What do you think? And he was like, if you feel this is what you want to do, go for it. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what if? Like, I had a lot of what ifs. Like, what if people don't watch? What if people don't listen? What if people don't like take it the right way? And he was like, don't worry about them. I'm like, oh, oh, okay, thanks. So just having him in my corner, like it motivated me to keep going. And like I did take a year off because I was like, nobody's watching. Like I'm not getting any views or like it's just like why am I doing this? And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take his advice and just keep going.
Yeah.
So here we are. It like I don't know. Like I have no words. I have no words at all, and I'm grateful for everybody that has been in my corner, and I'm just like I can kind of ask for a better sibling, a better brother, like just a better person, just to be there and encourage me to be who I'm meant to be. Because I wish I had this growing up, and just to be, from what I know, the first person to do this, and just to be that light for anybody else that needs it. It brings so much joy to me, and I'm grateful.
Yes. Shout out to Avery.
I'm trying to keep it in. Like I'm trying to hold it together. I am.
That's good. You ain't got to hold it together in this space.
I'm trying. But going back to your PhD program, being an SLP, what are your long-term plans for working with people who stutter?
Whew, that is a great question. What are my long-term plans working with individuals who stutter? My work doesn't end until we are all liberated. When I can hear no longer the experiences of I thought I was only one. When I can no longer hear, well, I'm the first person to do this. When I can no longer hear, well, I didn't know where to go, or I didn't know this was out there. So my long-term plan aligns with a lot of those things. It's not just working with individuals who stutter, but how do I take the experiences of marginalized folk who stutter, let's be specific, marginalized folk who stutter, and bringing them to the center to understand how that these things are not singular, that the experiences that you experience are also tied to my liberation as well. So just as much as I say, oh, these are experiences of Black women who stutter, I also insert myself in that. Not to say that I know what it feels like to be a person who stutters, but I also know that when you are centered, I also get to benefit from that. When you can walk up in a space and negative reactions turn positive, I benefit. When you can walk up in a space and apply to a job and not have to think about, am I being discriminated because I just stuttered or because I'm a Black woman? That I benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
So the plans are making sure that we understand how we're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a person who stutters or not,
Mm-hmm.
we're all connected. Because systems of oppression, they do not discriminate.
Mm-hmm.
So what impacts you impacts me, and making sure that we take the things that we learn outside of the therapy room and we bring those into living room conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, they not only make it to living room conversations, but they make them into boardrooms.
Mm-hmm.
They make them into new policies, that we're talking about it when we're talking about new legislation. Like that is what I want my work to, how I want my work to work.
Mm-hmm.
But also knowing that I can't do this by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that it requires Black women who stutter
Mm-hmm.
to lead the charge.
Right.
So that's my long-term plan.
No, I love it because I agree. It has to keep pushing. Like, it takes a village. It does. So, like, if a handful of us can go out and talk about what is stuttering,
Mm-hmm.
how we can like incorporate it into our daily lives and get like just other people to join in,
Mm-hmm.
like that, it's a start, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it for sure.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I've learned, again, this is, you know, just only one example, but the power of a pause.
Mm-hmm.
Pause can be located within individuals who stutters speech.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell us about connection? What does that tell us about slowing down in a world that has continuously been so rapid, and increasingly the sense of urgency?
Mm-hmm.
So stuttering can be leveraged to tell us more about how we can push back
Mm-hmm.
on capitalism that is associated with, if you can't get this out this fast,
Right.
that is how I'm valuing your body,
Mm-hmm.
or this is how I'm profiting off of you.
Right.
But also, like, hey, we all need a pause.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm speaking to you and you're stuttering, holding that space with you, not diverting my attention,
Mm-hmm.
but really understanding what it means to be connected to a person.
Right.
And so when we say at the Blank Center, stutter openly, we mean that because there's so much power that comes from understanding and knowing that
Mm-hmm.
pause actually is an entry to something that we have gotten away from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's connection. That's one example.
Right.
The things that I've learned throughout
Yeah.
my journey, listening and things like that.
Mm.
I'm gonna ask you. Hold on. I know this your show. But can I ask one question?
Sure.
Okay. What has stuttering taught you about you?
Oh man, that I'm more vulnerable than, I guess, the regular people. I'm more empathetic. I listen. Like, my thing is listen. Like, whatever you have to say is important, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. Say it. That just being there and present in the moment, like, that's my superpower. Like, just to be there and for people to know that I'm like, I'm listening, I care. Your words matter to me, and I want to hear what you have to say. And like, I don't know, just being in an environment that I'm typically the only one that stutters, it puts like a weight on my shoulders. Like, what will people think about me? But if they really knew who I was as a person, they would know that I'm the person that will sit with you just to sit, just to listen, and just to be there. Like, that's all I want. And just for people to understand that I'm just like everybody else. I just have a stutter, but I'm just like everybody else. And that has like instilled in me like just the power of being that person that, like, I just want the best for you, and it doesn't matter what you're going through. Just let me be there for you. And I love being that person. And I will never change that part of me ever. And I just wish people felt that. And I just want everybody to know that I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm me.
And I can witness. I'm a witness to that. I learn more about vulnerability when you are vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something that I'm still working on, but I'm glad to say that I'm starting to just like express myself more, and just to be who I'm meant to be. And I love that. So I don't know. Like, I'm at a loss of words right now. Just I don't know. I love it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So, what's the most rewarding part of your job?
The most rewarding part of my job. Meeting some amazing individuals who stutter across the globe. That is so rewarding. Not only just meeting people, but being to see, and when I say meeting people, I'm talking about as young as 2 and as old as 86 that I've met. Meeting across the lifespan, individuals who stutter all over the world. And for me personally, it is just a moment to always like put aside the things that I thought I knew. Throw it out the window. You might learn something new today. And so being open to receiving that. Right? Being able to say, and I understand, I'm very, very aware of the power that comes with not only my title, like being a speech therapist, right? Being a person that is getting their PhD, but the knowledge that I know is not from me alone. It's co-constructed with people. And so just as much as I know is tied to what the community knows first and foremost. And so that is the joy. Being able to be like, oh, I got that wrong. All right, let me make some more space in my notebook,
Right.
And being okay with that. Being okay with that. Being always open to learning something new about stuttering. And like I said, and just when I think I got it down pat, I meet someone new.
Right.
A 2-year-old little girl that walks that stage and gets up and introduces herself and says, I'm a little girl who stutters and I can tell you about stuttering. And I'm like, wow.
For sure.
You just taught me about confidence and you are 2 years old. So that is the most rewarding part. Another rewarding part about it is being able to see the lives of Black women who stutter being in the black and white text of the literature. That people know in the white ivory tower that we exist.
Right.
And that there are people that are going to be citing this work. And there are people that are going to be looking at this article and hearing and seeing your voices. If they never have met a Black woman who stutter, that will be an opportunity. So that is the rewarding part, being able to create more spaces where people know more about stuttering in all of its ways, across color lines, across languages, across regions, all its ways. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love it. And I had the chance to witness, I think it was last year at UT, where I sat in at the care program, and I was like, oh, I wish I was part of that, because I'm like, I see these younger kids get on stage and fearless. Like, when I tell you fearless, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Like, what?
Yes.
But now I can say that I am part of the care program, and it's like I see why. The information that I'm receiving, it's just like, oh wait, this is actually what I do, and this is actually what I'm going to do, and like what I'm experiencing. And I'm like, I see why. I don't know, I love it. I love it, and I can't wait to the end where I can share my experience on what this past semester is, how it's going, and what the future is going to hold.
Yes.
And just to be here with other people who stutter, and I'm in a group of all females who stutter, which is crazy. Because I was thinking, oh, it'll be a mixture, but it's all females who stutter. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever been a part of, and I love it. And I'm just like, I'm glad Elizabeth Hampton called me. She was like, hey, I thought that you're on the waiting list. I'm like, yeah, I am. So that moment that she called me, I was like, it was the perfect timing. I felt like she knew that it was my time to be in this program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to, like, it's like, she read my mind. Like, it was like, at that moment, I was like, I wish I was part of it. I was like, thinking back, because I should have the program. I was looking at it. I was like, this is like, these kids, these people were just amazing. And then the next day or the day after, she called me. I was like, this is like, it was meant to be, for sure. So I'm excited that I have this opportunity to continue through this program.
Yes.
So
I can't wait to see you at Celebrations of Care.
yes, I am super, super excited. I am, for sure.
Yes.
Uh, what would you like? What's a piece of advice you would give someone struggling with their stutter, like right now?
Mm. What advice would I give someone struggling with their stuttering right now? My first initial thought is to bring attention to your body. It's very important that we recognize that we are here, and that our body is one of the largest vessels of protection. So bringing awareness to your body, being able to locate what kind of thoughts and ideas are floating and flowing through, first and foremost. And what are some ways that, if you've identified lies, that you can replace with truth? That is first and foremost. And the reason why I say that first, because not everyone has access to the resources that many others may have. And so that's first and foremost. Second, locate a community of individuals who stutter. That can be at the Blank Center, that can be joining NSA groups, National Stuttering Association groups, that can be locating someone on social media. Social media is a useful tool in connecting with people across time zones. Going on TikTok, going on Instagram, typing in hashtag stuttering, going on YouTube, typing in stuttering. If there's not a support group near, look through those avenues. Right? And once you find a community, take a minute to allow yourself to be open. To be open. Also asking yourself, what are you needing in this moment? Right? I don't want to assume that I don't want to assume what struggle looks like for you. So being able to define, what is struggle for you? Is it struggling with connecting with people? Is it struggling with locating people who stutter? Is it struggling with accepting stuttering? All of those things. So that's why I start with self first. Being able to identify those things first, before, if you can, because sometimes we don't know what we need.
Right.
We don't know. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
But being able to know that there's a community of individuals who stutter that are out there that you can tap into. There are clinicians, there are researchers and academics that you can locate. Yeah, reach out. And believe it or not, there are people who do not stutter that want to support, care, and love on you as a person who stutters.
For sure.
And so, again, being able to locate some thoughts and replacing it with truth.
Mm.
Also, follow Melanin Stutter Queens. Stutters.
As you should. For sure. Yeah. And I also want to put out, like, having those support groups it's like a great way to just be around people just like you.
Mm-hmm.
And I am one of the co-leaders for the NSA Houston chapter. So, like, if you're in the Houston area, hit me up. I'm interested. Like, I'll give you all the info. But yeah, like the NSA website, the restutter.org, they have all the info that you need to find chapter meetings or like the NSA conferences or just like any support that you need. It's all there.
Yes.
Yeah, like just having that support system is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Like, it's the best thing I've ever experienced personally, and I'm just like, I'm glad that I found my community. And like, it's rewarding for sure. I love it.
Yes. I also want to shout out. Sorry, I got a little excited with my little pen. I also want to shout out the Blank Center for Stuttering. Also, if you're a clinician, speech therapist, and you are needing resources. Also, if you're a caregiver of a person and a person who stutters and you're looking for resources, we have a multitude of service and offerings to help. And then also, Dr. Sandra, Limitless Leader. Limitless Leader. If you are also struggling with a stutter, I want to make sure I say, now I've been saying her name for the past 3 days, and now the time has come. But power of a pause. Give me a second. I don't want to get it wrong. Dr. Sandra Russell Smith. She is an author and educator of the book Limitless Leader. She is also a point of contact to reach out to if you're looking for someone that is navigating stuttering. Also, how do you reframe and leverage your disability and making it something more powerful? Annabelle Augustin, like, these are,
yes.
Again, we're pointing out people because there are people in our community that are out there, and we want to make sure that you get connected with. So yeah.
For sure. Okay, last question before we go. What is one piece of advice that you would give the younger generation of boys, girls, men, women, especially people of color who stutter?
Take up space.
Mm.
Take up space. And I'm saying that with such boldness because it's also something that I have to tell myself too. Take up space. Stutter openly. Stutter to yourself in the mirror. Listen to your voice. Listen to how it sounds, how powerful it is, and what it means to actually share yourself with anyone. You are a gift, and we need your voice. Another thing that I would advise the younger generation is that there are Black folk who stutter out there. Do not give up. Do not give up. Times may be hard. Times are difficult. These are things that are not new, that we have learned from those in our community, our ancestors, from our histories and our her stories. We are here and we are strong together. And so you are valued. You are more than that negative experience or that negative thought. And that you deserve the microphone, the stage, the job, the article, the pageant, the crown, all of the things, the presidency, all of the things. So continue to speak, continue to talk, continue to share. We are ready. We are waiting. And we are listening.
I needed that. Like, I need that for myself. Like, that hit deep, and I appreciate that, like, a lot.
Yes, I needed that. Whew. This was so good.
I have 0 words, and I like to talk, and I have 0 words. Like, thank you for everything. Literally everything.
Thank you. Oh.
Like,
thank you, Ariana, for allowing me in this space, for teaching me about vulnerability. And I hope you don't mind, for teaching me how to take off the mask each and every day. Thank you for your truth. And again, thank you for your audacity to do this. Continue to be audacious, because you make space not only for me, but the little girl in me that is beaming, that I got to be on someone's YouTube channel today. You did that. Thank you for not hiding, so that I can see your light and know where to go. And I mean that.
Soaking it all in.
Thank you. Because I was about to say, sit in it.
I'm soaking it all in.
Thank you for having me. And thank y'all for listening to us.
For sure. To the future Dr. Richardson, I really appreciate you for being here, for shining your light, and just being you, and just giving us all that good feels and love. And I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.
Thank you.
All righty.